Nicole, so great to see you again. Nicole Ruith with Fairway Independent Mortgage. How's your day going?
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
I know,
Fantastic.
right?
Although I'm still a little jealous over the last week you just had.
I
Uh,
know. I just took a little staycation because of COVID. Obviously, we can't really go to too many places, so I just did a little staycation up in the high country and did some hiking and hiking and biking again, and it's just like repeat, new city, repeat, new city, repeat.
yes,
But I'm ready to get back to the grind, ready to talk real estate, ready to talk mortgages, and ready to get into it. So
absolutely. Let's do it, Meredith.
September's already almost over. We're halfway through September.
No,
Where did the time go?
I
Um,
can't. I've got neighbors that already have Halloween decorations out. I am so not ready.
I know. I just can't believe, we had the snowstorm last week. Oh my gosh, it's coming. It's here. So speaking of that, speaking of transitioning into, the snowstorm, the snowy season, the fall, a big highlight of the summer was that because of the strong buyer demand, because of the low inventory, home prices in Denver spiked above the average price, spiked above 600,000 for the first time, which is so amazing for sellers out there,
Yeah.
but it's very concerning for buyers. Is there any silver lining for buyers out there? What should they pause? Should they jump in the market right now? Or what are your thoughts when it comes to applying for a mortgage during this time?
That's a fantastic question because you would think, and we're continuing to see these prices increase and it's not slowing down. And that's the part of it. It's not going to. So we have this incredibly low inventory and it's nationwide. It's not just here and it's not going to get solved overnight if it gets solved at all. Our new normal might be a seller's market and it might even look like we have times where it looks like a buyer's market, where it's still a seller's market. I think with the population growth, with migration, with the first-time home buyer boom that we've got going on right now because of the generational move, you've got more buyers. And so when that happens, and more people are staying in their home longer and they're aging in place and the whole thing, right? And you just don't have enough inventory to satisfy that. So what's the alternative? The alternative is waiting. Waiting means that the prices are going to continue to go up, so it's going to cost you more. And we have historically low interest rates. In fact, 9 times this year, we hit all-time record lows, and we kept hitting them. And when you've got interest rates as low as you have today, and you have the price that the home is today, knowing it's going to go up, knowing the interest rate is going to go up, the cost of waiting gets extreme. So right now, although I do get the fact that somebody might think it's too expensive, we're not going to hit a bubble. We don't have enough inventory. Prices are only going to go up because of the lack of inventory and the increased demand. So now is the absolute best time to buy if you didn't buy 3 years ago.
Exactly. And speaking of that, sellers who are taking advantage of this market, we can't as sellers catch up to the buyer demand out there. Like you said, inventory is still super low right now. But with those sellers thinking about jumping into the market, thinking about putting their homes on the market, they themselves then are most likely turning into buyers. So talk to me about some creative ways sellers can possibly buy before selling their home or something like that.
That's a very strategic conversation that we're having with almost everybody right now because they don't want to give up the home that they're living in unless they know they've got somewhere to go. And so you can do a couple things. Now, there's not a one solution that fits everybody, and some people won't fit any solution because maybe their income is limited or they're restricted in the equity that they have in their home. But if we've got a little bit of leeway, then we can find some solutions like this. If you have enough income and you can afford both homes, and maybe you have some income or some money set aside in a 401k or something that you can borrow, you can put 5% down on the next home and then move into the next home and sell your existing home. And then once you sell your existing home, we can do what's called a recasting. So we can actually drop that loan amount and do a new payment based on the new lower loan amount. So that'll get you eventually your final loan that you want on the new house. That's if you can afford both. You can also get a HELOC on the existing home that you have, pull the cash out. Everybody's been blessed with so much equity. So you can pull that cash out, use that for a bigger down payment, drop that loan right from the very beginning on a new purchase, and then sell. You could try to go contingent, although we know that that's probably not going to happen in this market. And in fact, I've even done some things where we had the ability with income, but we just had to move a bunch of marbles in a lot of different holes where we had to get a HELOC on the existing home. We had to do a first and a second with a HELOC on the second one. They sold the home, they paid off the HELOC, they dropped the mortgage, and it allowed them. So being creative, thinking fast, if there's a gift, maybe having a family member buy the new home and then we can immediately purchase it back the day after.
Right.
It's creative thinking right now is what it takes, but there are ways. Don't think you can't before really exploring with a creative lender.
Absolutely. And that's why all the buyers should just contact you and your team to talk about these creative strategies. So speaking of those buyers, our buyer demand is distributed to COVID, people wanting to move up, move down, upsize, downsize. Are you still seeing the strong buyer demand as we head into fall? And I know you don't have a crystal ball, but do you think Broncos season, colder weather, do you think it's going to slow down, or what are you seeing on your side?
Normal would tell you yes. Normal would say that we're going to start slowing down on our demand. And we did a little. So the mortgage purchase applications were going gangbusters, right? 20% year-over-year growth, 22%. The last one was 30%. And so this week, it was only 6% year-over-year growth in mortgage purchase applications. So that means that it's slowed down slightly, but it's still above last year. So our demand is still stronger than last year. It's just slightly off from last week. So when I look at that, I say, okay, so there's still people that want to live in a new home. They can work from anywhere. They're mobile. They're choosing more wisely. They want an office. They want a bigger backyard, whatever that space looks like to them. And they're willing to make the sacrifices because they're not spending the money on other things. They're not going to Disney World right now. They're not going on their European vacation. So they're willing to spend that money on a home. So that demand, albeit might slow, because some inventory will stay off the market, because if you are homeschooling your kid or they're doing a school from home, then you're not going to want people coming in your home. You're not going to want to do showings. You're not going to list your home right now. So our inventory is still going to be limited. And some buyers might say, well, it's not worth it. The holidays are coming up. But the overall buyer demand, we still have 8.8 to 9.2 million first-time home buyers coming in this year, next year, and the year after. And they're coming regardless, right? And so maybe it won't be as high as it was over the summer, but it's not going to be as low as it was last fall.
Right.
So we're still going to see that strong buyer demand, especially trying to take advantage of these low interest rates while we have them.
Exactly. And I like what you first said about it's not normal. I mean, the normal thing would be for it to slow down in the fall, but this year has been anything but normal. So we shall see where it goes. Nicole, anything else you want to add? Let our viewers know, maybe any other headlines you want to talk about, anything else?
So I would just add that, and a lot of people already know this, but maybe you don't, the FHFA did add a 50 bip hit on refinances. So if you're thinking about refinancing, that goes into effect December 1st, which really means that's when it gets purchased by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So lenders are going to institute that 50 bip adjustment, not on the interest rate, but on the fees, probably starting the end of September, right? So we're going to start seeing that. So if you're interested in refinancing, contact your lender or me and the team and see if we can help you. If you're thinking about purchasing, that 50 bip adjustment doesn't affect your interest rate, but there's another one that's coming down the road, and that's an increase in the guarantee fees for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And that's going to pick up the interest rates as well. So I would say that if you're interested, that cost of waiting is absolutely not working in your favor. So go ahead and get qualified, start looking. Even if you don't buy right now, maybe you buy in the spring, but you can get all your ducks in a row.
Absolutely. Well, Nicole, thank you again for joining us, educating us on what's going on in the market. And if anyone would like to talk to Nicole or any member of her team, I'll have her information below. And if you want to go check out some homes and maybe move up or move down, I'll have my information below as well. Nicole, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.